Good morning, everyone. So my name is Pierre Kamsutamu. I work at ACMAT as the senior thematic expert in terms of focus, and also I'm the team lead of the Climate Service and Application Project, CLIMSA project there at ACMAT. So today, as you have well introduced to you, today we are looking at that what is called, that strong El Nino upcoming El Nino event that is expecting. We have already started seeing some of the prerequisite for that phenomena to occur toward the end of the year. So we are here to talk about it a bit, to discuss. So I was charged to present, to talk a bit about the global stature of the ENSO, and maybe I'll also introduce you to some of the other drivers and to see why this one is particular. So first of all, sorry, I'm trying to move here. So first of all, I would like to introduce you a bit about ACMAT. So ACMAT is the African Center of Meteorological Application for Development. It was created since 1985 and is operational since 1992, and is recognized as a WMO Regional Center for the whole Africa since 2015. And also is also the Continental Military Advisory Center since 2021 within the framework of AMOA. So our vision is to I'll go mainly on our mission. Our mission is to act as the African Weather and Climate Watch Center and Center of Excellence for the application of meteorology for sustainable development. So this is our core area. So we work on agricultural health, climate for climate safe for health, agriculture, and disaster reduction. So we're in charge of monitoring and focusing on early warning from extreme events. That's the one that we are here for. We also have to contribute to the different situational reports within the framework of AMWAS. We also have a mandate to build capacity of African National Meteorological and Hydrological Services, and we are doing some research for operation, and we are also working toward the transfer of technology from the global center to Africa, and also from the regional center to the rest of the continent. Mainly, I wanted to talk about the global state of the driver, where the projected state, and also. Then I will present you a kind of summary on the potential implication of the expected situation over the continent, and or maybe we'll also put it in some of the historical context. Jumping directly here, so for us, what you need to know is that for the seasonal forecasting, because of where we are here, the main driver is the oceans, and which is used among the different centers. So for that one, we are monitoring the ocean. We're also looking at the projected state of the ocean for the upcoming month and season two. That's what is helping us to predict the climate around over the continent. So it's just one of it is, but this is the main driver. So what we are doing here, this is just the map of the sea surface temperature anomaly observed since the past. So say I will start here since January, but we can even go back to August to see that from on up to let's say the last 3 months, what we have up to February, we had a below average temperature. So that means that the negative anomalies over here over the Pacific area, because this is one of the major area that we are monitoring. So that's what we had over that area. And when you look at it, what is happening is that since the beginning of February, we are moving into the above sea surface temperature over that area. And you can see through the maps when you look at the last 30 days. So something is building up over that area, over the Pacific, because this is one of the areas where we look at the ENSO. So we have different areas that we monitor over the ocean, the Indian Ocean, but now we are focusing more on this one. We are also looking at the other part. You will see that even over the Atlantic, something is building up over the western part of the Indian Ocean also something is building up, so we also start to see let's say warm condition are building up over those different parts of the oceans. So what we can say is that since mid-April, almost near to above. I mean, when you say near to above, it's like a positive temperature, positive anomalies, meaning that warming is persisting across most of the equatorial Pacific oceans. So this is the main thing that we have to take from here. We also have some over the Indian Ocean, even over the Atlantic Ocean also. Uh, uh, I was talking to you about those different areas that we have over the Pacific, over the Indian Ocean, over the Atlantic. So the main of to monitor that well, we have something that we are focusing on, which is the Nino point 3.4 indexes. This one is just to display to you what is currently what is ongoing. I mean, it's the time series of the evolution of that index over the ocean. So you may notice that when we are um, what we call positive. So when we are above zero is when we are like building what is called El Nino condition. When we are below, we are building what is called La Nina condition. So, but usually what is used to identify as La Nina or El Nino is when the index is below, for example, minus 0.5. That's when we are talking about La Nina. When it's above 0.5 positive value, then we are talking about El Nino, for example. So what we have here is that the trend, since that as I'm talking to you, that the current situation is that we are moving up into the positive area. So that's what we have here at the end. Regarding the what is called the IOD, Indian Ocean Dipole, that is the difference between the western and the eastern part of the Indian Ocean. So we look at those index because that this has a huge implication over the equatorial Africa. Also, so we are also monitoring what is happening there. So this is the index that we have there. So what we say is that now we are kind of in the neutral condition. So yeah, we have a kind of neutral condition for that one. Here is just the what I'll call the projected status. So I'm just going there right away to show you exactly. So this is a map which I derived from WMO Lead Center. So when we look at it, the thick black curve here is the current observation, and then the color that you have here is the projection. So as I told you, is that when we are above, or when you're in this category, above 0.5 is when we are talking about El Nino. When we are below, we're talking about La Nina. So you will see that, as I told you before, is that before that, before February, we were in negative. We had like negative anomaly of SST over the Pacific. And then since then, we are steadily moving up to reach the positive side. So here we are in April, and we are almost reaching the um, 0.5, 0.5 value there. So when we look at it, most of the model are predicting that the upcoming month toward the end of the year will be above that the SST, that the sea surface temperature over the Pacific, although the Pacific area will be above 0.5, meaning that we'll be we will be in El Nino condition. So we have a kind of strong El Nino condition starting up, let's say by June up to the end of the year. It's going to stay there. Looking at the Indian Ocean the dipole index, so this is what we have. So what we have, I told you that we're kind of in neutral condition. So what is expected is that maybe by what we have, most of the models are projecting, let's say, neutral condition towards July, and from there in August, we'll likely move into the having like positive IOD with strong implication over the for the rainfall for the rainfall for the fall rainfall over the eastern part of Africa. When you look at the other area like the tropical North Atlantic area, we have like most likely the neutral condition there. The same for the southern part of the Atlantic, also like neutral condition toward the end of the year. So what we have to keep in mind is that according to the models. So we have not just the model, according to the situation, even observe and where we are, the trends, which is the expected trends, we are moving to have to have ENSO playing a major role. And let's say by September, we will have a kind of addition of uh, Indian Ocean, the Indian Ocean dipole on it also, meaning that the effect will be coupled and maybe we are expecting like a very extreme condition over affected area that those index usually impact that those sea surface temperature usually impact. We have most West Africa, we also have Central Africa, Southern Africa, even the entire continent usually affected by the behavior of those area of the ocean. Here, I'm doing here focus on the ENSO index. So what is happening over the Pacific, because that's one of the major concerns. Is one of the biggest driver when it's in place. Control almost everything around the globe. So for that one, I put back the map that we have here. So this is just different plot from different centers. So here we have, for example, the Bureau of Meteorology of Australia. So what they are projecting also for that period. So most of their model, because they are within that area, and they are known. I know that is a center which is also in charge of monitoring what is going about the ENSO situation. So what we have there is that they are in line of projecting a kind of El Nino episode toward the end of the year. So when we look at the IRI, that one is like combination of a dynamical and even statistical model. You see that most of the model are projecting the American model, North American model, are projecting kind of and so rainfall above. Sorry, rainfall above 0.5 degrees C. Looking at what is called sorry, what's going on?
Kindly wrap up.
Yeah, well, so looking at what we have over the same thing is happening. So most of the model around the world, looking at the Copernicus database, are projecting that trend, even if the spread, if the spread seems to be big, but all of them are showing that we are moving into the I would say, to the weak to strong El Nino episode. So why do we think that this thing is going to occur? So here I just want to show to you what is called the in terms of subsurface temperature departure in the Pacific area. So what we have here is just let's say is the heat content of the ocean. So what we are having is that when you look at it, is that since December, even since September, we have a kind of building of heat, which is just ongoing all over the Pacific. So toward January, so we are moving here into the positive areas. That doesn't mean that the heat content is becoming very high. When you look in April here, so you'll see that in May, where we are currently, it's really building up over that area, over the equatorial Pacific, where in the predominant El Nino area, where you look at the subsurface, what is happening under the water. This is what you have. So this is just the depth under the water. So this is the water surface over there. So when you look at different areas, you will see that we have a kind of strengthening of the situation. So a kind of warm pool over that area. So based on that, this is the statement which is made about ENSO. So what we say is that the La Nina condition that we were having is about to end, and then we have to care about El Nino now. So this is the prediction that you have. So by the end of June, we have a switch between I would say, the neutral condition to the above normal condition. So here we are by the end of June. So in July, we'll start. So for the remaining of the season, we'll start to see kind of a high chance of having when you look at the red bar, high chance of having above normal condition, meaning is a sign for ENSO. Now, when you look at this the specification that you have is to talk about. So when you look at red, you have light red, mid red, and strong red. Is just to talk about the strength of probably of what is expected there. So most of the model are agreeing that we will have an El Nino event toward the end of the year. Then some of them now moving toward the end. So what we have is that we have a high number of models who are pushing towards saying we have a strong El Nino condition over that area. So these are the value of the index which are giving us for those persistent conditions over the Indian Ocean. So by the end of the year, the chances are almost split above the four category, meaning that we are getting there. We'll get there. Will be by August. It will be into El Nino condition already. So it's likely to emerge with those amount of chance. So this is just some of the implication of what will happen. So here, the area of concern, depending on the season and the category of El Nino that will be observed, that is expected. So when we have like strong, when you have like moderate, here, for example, we couldn't find any year in JJL with moderate conditions. So, but if you have maybe other data set can show it. So we have like these are the potential impact. But to be clear is that we are going toward having like reduce amount, a huge impact of on the rainfall over the continent for the upcoming season. Then this is just to put everything into the context. So here is just that we have plot the black curve is just we have plotted the current observed with the mean forecast with the forecast of temperature over the Pacific. So we are looking when you look at the vertical red bar is just on the left we have observation, on the right we have the forecast. It's just to show okay this is where we are moving, and we have tried to compare the same period over the years to see okay which year is which year was like this. So we talk here about the analog here. So here we have a kind of when you look at the 97 seems to be very close. So we have another set which is 2022, 2023 for that period. So this is like this year seems to it's like it's playing the disc of those years. It's playing the same disc like those previous years. So we continue to monitor.